StreamYard back to here, kick this off. And hey, look at that. We are live again. Is the sound up?
It is.
Okay. And you heard sound coming through? Okay. You might want to check it again. Make sure you hear our audio.
I can manage two machines at one time.
Our microphones, make sure that, because just because we hear the video playback doesn't necessarily mean our mics are up. Hey, welcome to another edition of Modern Day Thrive. This is not vodka, by the way. This is just water.
Say what you want to say.
I am your host, Dean Baker. Along with me is George Weber, my partner in crime here. And Modern Day Thrive, it's about side hustle. It's about working smart. It's about working for yourself. It's about small business. It's about large business. It's about kind of unplugging, not unplugging, but breaking free from that 9 to 5 punch a time clock. Hear myself coming back through there. It's about so many things that you can benefit from in this day and age when people are trying to go back to work, but they're not really interested in go back to work.
Yeah, right.
Which means I don't want to go back to work and work for somebody else and somebody else's time and somebody else's pay and somebody else's, I want something for myself. I want to build something that I can benefit from and not just the people that I'm serving. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense for people, more so maybe these days when they're hesitant to go back to work,
Well, the difference is someone that's working from home and says, I don't want to go back into an office.
Right.
But you're still working for the company versus someone's saying, I don't want to go back to work. I get that.
No, I mean, working from home is not, I'm talking about actually doing your own thing.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I don't care. You buy 4 lawnmowers and get some friends, and before you know it, you've got a lawn mowing business.
Sure.
What do you need? A trailer, a few lawnmowers, 1 lawnmower, and you have a business. A weed whacker, a lawnmower for less than $1,000. You can have a lawn mowing business. I don't think you need to be accredited.
No.
I don't think you need to be licensed, bonded, insured, maybe insured. Let's
That's probably insured. A good one.
That's a good one, you know, which when we mean insured, it means liability insurance.
Yeah.
Which means if your lawnmower runs over their internet, cable, you all of a sudden damage something of the property that you're working on, you can absolutely, and if it costs more than the deductible for the the liability insurance, then guess what? You're protected. You can actually, maybe the lawnmower gets out of control and it runs over the dog. I don't know. Just you may want to, when you're buying insurance, they're doing it. You might as well do it too. They're entertaining all the what ifs. I'm sure as an insurance agent, they have a menu of catastrophes that they've had in the past. I go, all right, what's the likelihood he's going to run over the neighbor's dog?
What's that one where he does the commercials and he goes, and they show all those crazy scenarios? He goes, yep, we paid that one.
yeah, we paid that one. I mean, there's it's funny because
thanks for the like, appreciate it.
It's funny because it's true. You know, it's funny because it's true. You see stuff. I mean, even you're looking at some of these lawyer commercials on there, and they're making it funny. You know, I think there's one thing out there that size matters. I'm not going to say names. I'm just going to say that the advertising says size matters. And wow, you do a commercial that you're really talking. You're giving away kind of sexual references.
Yeah,
you're
right.
talking about your business,
trying to keep it clean.
you know. I mean, and they're, you know, I'm not, you know, it's great because I think people are kind of tongue in cheek, kind of,
yeah.
you know, getting a hoot out of it. And it goes back earlier today. I'm talking to my apprentices.
Thanks for the share.
Thanks for the share. Please like. Did you put up a like? Oh,
I
there
did.
it is, right there in front of me. I'm
It's
not
been up for
even
a little
looking. And we do have a phone call in too. So if you wanna call us live, we'd be actually loving to talk to you live.
If you have a camera and
just
you'd like to
wanna-
hop on, let us know. We'll send you a
Yeah,
link.
we can actually introduce you to the show as well. So, and bring you on via StreamYard here.
It's much more fun that way.
So, yeah. So anyway, I was talking to my interns earlier, and I might be doing a commercial for a new client. You
Nice.
know, and of course we start looking at some of the older commercials that I've done, and I've got some embarrassing ones, I'm sure, that things that friends of mine have said, "Oh, you did that one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did that one." But you know, you look at some of the stuff that kind of held to the test of time, you know, and there's some really funny stuff out there that wind up, if nothing more than they wind up in the Hall of Fame for like NFL football, funniest commercials, you know. And one of them was the Trunk Monkey. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Oh,
I remember the term, but I don't remember
the Trunk Monkey. I'm just going to describe it because I don't want to mention the company that it's branded to. But all right, so there's a couple, or there's a woman in a car, and she gets pulled over by the cop.
Okay.
And then he's, you know, trying to get her name. It's like, you know, writing her a ticket. And then she punches this little button on the dash of her car, and it says Trunk Monkey. So the trunk pops open, the monkey climbs out, walks around there, and walks up to the cop and taps him on his butt, and he looks down, and the monkey's got a fistful of cash. And then the cop looks at the woman and says, "This your monkey?" And she's speechless. And then he looks back at the monkey again, and this time the monkey's got a donut. You know, so if you didn't want the cash, maybe you want the donut.
Yeah.
You know. And then of course it cuts to the call to action, which is you know, the Trunk Monkey, another great addition to our vehicles. That's kind of thing, you know. And they had so many, and in fact we were watching them today because some of these younger kids, they haven't seen some of these because they were out 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Sure.
And of course, we're looking at them going, "Oh, wow, I never saw that one. They made a new one." And it was like the Alien edition.
Oh, no.
So, and they recreated the scene from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And all of a sudden, there's a guy in a pickup truck, and then he looks out, you know, the Richard Dreyfuss character. Remember? Late night, he's out, and all of a sudden, the stop sign starts going like this, and a light beams down and everything. And it's basically the Trunk Monkey. You know, so if that happens, if you find yourself in the middle of nowhere at a crossroads in the middle of the night and aliens come after you, you punch that, and then the monkey gets out of the trunk, walks around, and beats the crap out of them aliens. You know, the monkey gets out, walks around, beats the crap out of the aliens, and then the guy that was in the truck, he's talking afterwards, and he's got this long, I want to say phallic thing. He's like, "Yeah, I don't do probes." I'm like, "Oh my God." And this is something new. This had to have been done in the last few years. So they did a bunch of really great commercials more than 10 years ago, and now they're still doing them, you know, 10 years later.
Speaking of relics.
Oh God, what?
You want to know what I still have on VHS tape?
Oh, a lot of people don't know what that is.
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
We did the video with my kids down at the parachute place.
Oh, right. I
still have that.
Sky Venture.
That
wasn't that. Oh no, I made the video. I was working for the client, and I needed a family.
It was me, Colleen, and Sarah.
Yeah. So you and the kids came out.
They were young. I can't remember how old they were.
And I put them in a commercial, and you know, it's probably something that they probably haven't. That was probably biggest thing in their life. I got to fly.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that in years, but
still have it on VHS. Have no idea if it'll play, but
well, so where was I going with this? So advertising might get a new thing for advertising, trying to teach my apprentices, my interns, my whatevers, that, sometimes you need to look back, see where you came from. Maybe spark some ideas. And, now that other set of commercials, that size matters, one commercial has been popping up in my head lately, and there's two guys out there blowing leaves off their lawn, and one of them's got this tiny little lawn blowing thing. It's not even real. It's just this, and then the other guy comes out with this jetpack with two hoses coming out, and he's shooting leaves all over the place.
That was awesome. Or something like that.
Yeah. And then the other guy, the neighbor's kind of going crazy. He's got leaves blowing at him, and he's going, yeah, woo, and of course size matters. So when blowing leaves out of your lawn, size matters. So I just think it's brilliant, and hats off and applause going to all the the creative minds that do all that.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of it's making me raise my game, and the guys that I'm trying to teach, I'm trying to raise their game and saying, look, this is the stuff people do and have done in the past.
Yeah.
So you got to raise the level here if you want to be, the creative generation, because we weren't, I guess, and our parents weren't, and anyone before them, nobody knew how to be creative. But the new kids coming in, they're the really creative ones. Of course, they're only creative to their peers, and that's all we were, creative to our peers. But so you kind of try and get them to start thinking, a little crazy, and hey, these are the times when
out of the box a little bit.
Yeah, you can and do that. And someone had to have said, can you imagine trying to talk to a company, an owner of a company, and trying to tell them size matters and try and convince them that's a good.
Let me get a little freaked out by that conversation.
That's a good, and most people look at it and laugh their ass off because hey, it's a reference to something else other than what they're using for, and they were actually using it for how big their business is.
Yeah,
it's bigger because it's better because it's bigger. So I just thought that's a hoot. And every time, I don't watch regular TV, but when I do, man, I see that every commercial break. I do. And so I thought it was just
I've seen the leaf blower one. Others, I'm not sure.
The leaf blower, right. There's another one where a kid's walking onto an airplane and everyone's cramped, and he's trying to muscle by everybody, and he's going to his chair. And his chair, everyone's in these cramped little airline seats, and his seat is like 4 times the size on top of the row. So when it comes to airline seats, size matters. And so anyways, it's just, I don't know why I got onto that, but I see it like every day. Of course, in Florida, we've been watching the weather. This past week we've had a hurricane run right through, run right by.
That was very disappointing.
Central Florida didn't get a whole lot. We got a lot of wet, but
even the next day I expected rain where the bands were showing. I was like expecting
and then
a lot
it dumped
rain
today for a little bit. And then and it's technically in North Carolina right now. And just a few hours ago we had some pretty serious rain.
It's not a hurricane anymore though. It's probably down to just a big storm.
Once it hits the landfall, it usually downgrades,
kills
unless, something else happens. But so
on to the next one.
It's Is there another next one?
I think there's one out there, but I don't know what it's doing yet, and I haven't really paid attention to it yet.
I don't know if this is the first hurricane that has a very specific Disney name. Elsa. This was Elsa, and Elsa from Frozen. So all everybody had fun with that. So but we survived. I'm not sure, there were some casualties, and our hearts go out to families that were hurt and injured from this.
I think there may have been a few people. I don't know the
always something kind of.
Sure.
But and of course my cat seemed to have run off and I haven't seen the cat in a couple of days. So,
Oh,
oops, yeah,
hopefully he
not a
finds
big,
his way back home.
yeah. So, give me your hearts and prayers, and maybe my cat will come home. But yeah,
when you get home tonight, he'll be waiting for you.
wouldn't that be good?
Yes.
So, so what's going on? How's your week been?
Oh boy, I tell you, I've had a crazy week as usual.
Yeah.
It's been pretty busy at work. Because we're
Now,
still.
I think last week you were saying they're preparing for storms, so they're going to make you like
they
wrap up all the
They
computers.
were talking about it, and they backed off on it. Thank goodness.
Probably a good thing, right?
It would have been a waste of time, but so there's things.
Colossal.
It's like insurance. It's only good if you need it. It would
Right.
have been only good if it happened, and it would have been a lot of waste of time. So now we can do it overtime.
I would get tubbies. I'd get a bunch of tubbies, and when the big ones come, when shit's getting real,
Sure.
I would get a bunch of tubbies, and I would take all my hard drives. Not so much the computers, but the hard drives, like the externals,
Yeah.
Put them in the tubbies.
Yeah.
I use a lot of external hard drives.
Yeah, sure.
Most of the system drives are just software.
Yeah.
And especially nowadays, everything's cloud-based.
How long would it take us to reload that other computer the other night? 20 minutes?
Right across from our studio, I've got 2 bathrooms, and the bathrooms have a concrete block all the way around them.
Yeah.
The only thing they don't have is a concrete roof, but it goes up like 2 stories.
You're still limiting your space to,
so
pretty direct hit.
That would probably, a tank would have a hard time getting through that because it's such a small amount of space. It's like 12 feet between both bathrooms. It's like 12 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah.
So so I would actually take anything, cameras, anything, and put them in the tubbies. Make sure they're get watertight tubbies.
Sure.
Put them in there. Stick them right on top of the toilet because you don't want them on the floor because water can come up. And so I'd load any piece of expensive equipment in there, and I go, you know what? Boy, I've just collectively.
Insurance takes care of the rest.
Then you just kind of hope and pray.
Yeah.
Maybe you take a camera with you where you go.
Your favorite one.
Take my favorite camera and bring it home with me.
Yeah.
Of course, if
all hell breaks, thing, right?
All hell breaks loose. I can always I can start filming and maybe make some money on sell it back to the Weather Channel. But I would literally load up both bathrooms full of equipment, and I'm going, man. Now all it would have to take is the storm to be focused right there, and then I'm completely wiped out because I put every
laser precision.
I doubled down in that one.
Even if water came down on the roof, that's all it was. Probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Oh, but I would not only put all the equipment in tubbies, I'd put everything in Ziploc, watertight Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
And then put it in the tubby, and then going, well. All right, I've done everything I'm going to do. That's what we do in Florida. We kind of, people go out, run around buying plywood and nailing it over their windows. And that's what we do.
I still want to come up with that product.
We take our lawn furniture and throw it in the pool if we have a pool because it's not going to blow around if it's already in the pool.
Typically not. I mean, it'll float, but it's got suction trying to pull it out. So even there, it's not going anywhere.
It's just not going anywhere. So you take stuff that can.
It'll move around.
So you take a lawn. If you want to keep your lawn furniture, throw it in the pool. Might as well.
I have a trampoline, so that's always fun because you got to flip it over, and then we generally tie it to a tree. And throw a bunch of sandbags on it, which is generally good.
You know what you need to do with your trampoline, and I've seen this on like Pinterest. You take the trampoline, you dig a hole and drop it so it's ground height. So it's like you have an above ground pool and an in ground pool. Right now you have an above
good
ground.
Idea in Florida though.
You have an above ground trampoline. What if you had an in ground trampoline so you don't have to?
They do it.
Yeah,
they do.
I've seen it happen. They just dig a hole,
but you're talking,
and you can walk right. 12 feet.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent size up, so that's a lot.
But the trampoline is only like 4 feet tall, right? I mean, it's waist height, so it's probably 30 inches.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So you're only digging a circle, and then you're putting the floor level there.
Yeah.
So you're not jumping down in, you're just walking right from the grass onto the trampoline, which would probably on top of that make it a little less likely someone's going to fall and get hurt. You
They
know,
trip getting off of it just to get into the
they
grass,
might trip, but they're not going to go bounce,
yeah.
go off the metal railing, and then drop 3 more feet to the ground. You know, so
You say that though. This is a couple of years back. That's when my wife's sister didn't live here. They lived up in Maryland still. Yeah. They were goofing around literally right before they were supposed to go to the airport.
Yeah.
And getting off of it, his foot slipped and broke his foot. Yeah. Just in the.
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
so yeah, I'm just like,
trampolines aren't your homeowner's insurance is probably doesn't know anything about your trampoline because
the one I have knows about it, but they say it's not covered. Other ones say you have it, we don't cover you.
Okay.
So it really depends on who you get. Some will cover it, some will say it's excluded. I don't even want to hear about it.
Yeah. Well, it's
because I want to do that once. I want to get
don't
insurance.
like it.
Yeah, I want to get insurance. He's like, no, you guys. They looked on Google Earth. And he goes,
right.
I see a trampoline in your backyard. And he's like, sorry, I can't quote you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Turned away for a trampoline.
Yeah.
Even business insurance, they look at everything,
Sure.
For liability insurance, they want to know what you're doing, where you're doing it, and all those things.
Oh, you make cannonballs? No, we're good. Yeah. Keep looking.
Yeah.
That's a little high risk.
Right. So, I
don't think I'm allowed to skydive when I got life insurance. I am pretty sure it's written in there that I am not allowed to do it.
I think I recall that as well, that disclaimer that you do not do that. And
I always wanted to do that before I died. But
yeah, well, let's.
I'm pretty sure if I died while doing it, I'm not covered.
Okay, that would be something to keep in mind.
I'm not going to build it and then lose it like that.
Yeah. Well,
for sure.
What do they do? They give you your money back?
I don't know.
If all of a sudden you broke the cardinal rule of insurance,
if the death benefit goes away and then the cash,
or at least for that 5 minutes that you're flying, so you can't die in that.
Yeah, you just can't claim anything on it.
Yeah, but that shouldn't mean that the next day when you're in your car, know. So I mean, they can just obviously say, well, it's not like having creating a pre-existing condition where now all of a sudden now you're. Yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. If all of a sudden, if your life insurance that you're using to
build wealth
and do whatever,
sure,
and you decide and you signed a waiver that says you will not skydive, well, that just should mean that you can still skydive, but
can't die.
You just can't die.
Or if I do, I'll have her write a note saying, hey, I'm going to the Everglades, just in case. Hey, you must have got eaten by an alligator. I don't know.
Yeah, that's in Florida. I go swimming in green water or something.
Yeah,
there's something you cannot die from an alligator for that moment, so we won't pay off for that. They have a lot of reasons why they won't pay off. Sure, I understand.
Sure,
a lot of it's probably in case of any terrorist attack. I think they have a clause that says terrorist attacks do not cover. You're not covered for that. Which wow.
I wonder if Mother Nature's even covered.
Who knows? Did you read every single page of your 2,000-page policy?
I didn't read my mortgage when I signed the damn thing.
I got a closet full of papers.
I know, it's like
that covers my mortgage and my life insurance. There you go.
I get that magnifier, and I'm like, really? Who wrote this thing?
Wow.
What font did you use? 0.1.
Man, and that's part. It's all part of being in business, trying to make your wealth grow, trying to put money where money's supposed to go. And
insurance companies are there to make money too. They're not.
Yeah, and they don't like paying off, but yet they do, because you buy life insurance means you're gonna die.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to pay. So unless they figured out a way around that,
life insurance is a little bit different than, like, say, car insurance or something like that, because they really don't like paying, and if they end up having to pay, eventually they cancel you.
Oh, we don't talk about car insurance.
Oh, I know.
I had that one accident took them 9 months to pay me back.
Oh, and your
when my car, when
I can't think of the name of that thing.
What, the Land Rover?
Yeah, Land Rover.
Yeah, my old Land Rover took a beating. The insurance company took forever to pay,
because they want to find a reason.
No, it wasn't that. It was that there were 3 cars involved,
Oh,
and
okay.
someone behind me
Everyone was
hit
fighting
me
it. It's
into
not me.
somebody else. So now you've got 3 insurance companies
Yeah.
involved, and nobody works very quickly. And of course, probably the first car that someone pushed me into,
Mm-hmm.
they probably had full coverage, so they got their money right away.
Yeah.
Because your insurance company does. I had the minimum coverage because it's an old truck that I just like to drive.
Sure.
And of
You can
course,
run
they
over something that
totaled
wouldn't hurt
they
it.
totaled it, and but it wasn't totaled because I drove it home.
Yeah.
They totaled it,
Yeah.
but they had to go through 3 different companies for the check to, because my company wasn't going to give me a nickel because I only had the bare minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means, they somebody has to go to the other insurance company, and I finally got paid, but man, it took 9 months.
Yeah.
And it was just lucky that I had, some savings where I could just go buy another car, which is the car I'm driving today.
Yeah.
And I still have the Land Rover because, after all said and done, in that amount of time, I replaced both bumpers and
Ready to go.
they offered me, we'll give you this much money to total the car, or we'll give you like $400 less and you can keep it. I'm like, I'll keep it.
Yeah.
So I paid $400 for my car back, which,
sure.
at that time, by that time, I had already fixed it. So,
Yeah, sure. Hey.
So,
You got what you wanted in that case.
So it's kind of a thing. Anyway, so enough about that. But, insurance,
that
that's,
reminds me, I'm still waiting for it. I got to call the state attorney's office back. I don't know if I told you this. God, it was, how my house is built in my backyard.
Yeah.
The section of my backyard in the very, very far back, there's this easement. It's no houses or anything, but it goes past the sheriff's office or the county police station. So you literally have to drive right by it to get into this thing, and you just drive straight, and it's nothing but a gullyway, nothing there. Someone was driving through there drunk one night because they were trying to go mudding, and literally ran through my fence. They didn't actually go all the way through, but they actually broke my fence down.
Wow.
So I'm supposed to get paid for that, and this was a long time ago. So I need to call them and say, "Hey, I never got paid."
Yeah,
it's not a lot of money, but it's
it's
the principle. I had to replace a post and buy the fence.
That
so I probably had to spend about $100, but it's like I didn't,
$20,000 fence. It's the best fence on the planet. The fence, all the other neighbors are going,
that's what I should have done.
That guy's got the best fence ever. So
I wish you were that
kidding,
easy,
but,
right?
But your time should have been compensated
Sure.
as well. That the annoyance,
he told me, he says you'll get paid. He says they're gonna probably string it out to the last bit of time they can. It's small claim stuff. And the guy, they got him dead to rights. He got arrested. And
well,
he wasn't even on the road.
Right. So I see some viewers out there, and that's great.
Hey, we got some comments too.
That's me commenting, but I'm asking people if they're watching, got us online, you want to throw us a little chat, engage us in any way. It makes for a more interesting show when you engage us. So
there's a phone number. Call it.
What do we got to do? Come on now. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I've never
not getting naked.
Hey, I can sit here and talk for the full hour. I've been accused just today, like 3 more times that, man, sometimes I just don't shut up. I've been accused of that, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna lean into it because it makes for
this is the perfect time for it.
If you got a show to talk about, and you can talk about what I'm absolutely capable of keeping a conversation. No commercial breaks here, so think about that. Speaking of commercial breaks, I will, you can kind of look at some of the things that we're doing. Oh, look.
I had that. I took it out because someone else was in
I
here
know
last
the mug
night.
normally sitting here on the table. We took it out, but you can go to Etsy. I think you look up Post Effects Digital. I don't see the link here, but go to Etsy. There's a really neat Thrive mug, and I could go run in the other room and get it. But you kind of see it here.
Nice.
It's my
wife uses it all the time. I got one at home.
And yeah, so if you're really you're interested, it's not modern day Thrive. It's just Thrive. So it's not like branded us, but it's just hopefully it's inspirational, and that's kind of what I liked about it. So. I feel free. That's our commercial break for the night. Every 31 minutes.
That's longer than normal.
No, I figured that. We also have some t-shirts. Look, that's at a different site. That's on bonfire.com.
I think it is Bonfire.
Yeah, bonfire.com, and then you can look up Modern Day Thrive or Post Effects Digital is the operative thing here.
I still like that.
And
It's free. It's for me.
yeah,
That's catchy.
that's our missing thriver, Jade. You know, we love her. We know she's working hard and trying to keep her thing going. So hopefully one day we'll get her back in the studio. If not,
Or come in remotely.
out there, or come in remotely. So
any which way.
So anyway, so well, how's your little investment? I don't want to say little. How's your investment kind of situation going?
So, I'm assuming you're talking about my miner.
Well, you can
That's
talk
one of
about
them.
the mining.
Not as I mean, so my miners obviously because the coins have gone down in price. Obviously, they're not producing as much as I expected.
Yeah.
Which is fine because
Yeah.
I'm actually building at the level we're at now.
Right.
So I'm building a decent amount, roughly about $20+ every week from one source and about close to 20 from another source.
Mm-hmm.
One is going to a home account. One is going to an online account. Yeah, I was about to say you don't want to look today, but
I haven't. I haven't looked in like 3-4 days.
today was not a day to
It's
look.
crazy. And today, yeah, everything. Bitcoin is back to 32,000, almost 30.
And I know you have a lot more money than I do in Algorand, so you really want it to go up. But I'm okay with it staying at this because I'm buying every week.
Well, I want it to go up when I want.
At least
in
August.
I'm okay where it is.
Yeah.
Where is I go look now?
I was 82, I think, when I looked this morning.
Man, that's not.
Pretty sure it was 82.
But you know what? If that's where it needs to be, that's where it needs to be. I'm still thinking it's going to go up next month. 87.
Oh,
so it's actually
it went up a little bit, yeah.
But it's showing it's down 5%.
Yeah.
So yeah, the coins are doing less, but you've got the one miner in the server farm.
So I have a miner in the server farm. That thing just keeps cranking. It's not producing what I want, but I'm still okay.
Can
with
you
the
ask them to send you a picture of your computer
in
the rack?
I should. Oh, man, that would be kind of cool. I'll see if I can actually.
Ask them if they can go over there, and you know what they're going to do? They're just going to walk to any server and say, "Hey, that's you.
This yours right there."
But you go next time whatever. Ask them, "Hey, can you take a picture of my computer?"
I'm actually debating
to me.
And I have to think this one through because obviously it's a shared profit thing because they have it in the server farm. They handle the maintenance and stuff. There's a percentage of it I do have to give up for that.
Right.
I don't believe it's performing at the peak it should or what I believe I was sold. Let me say it that way.
Okay.
Because when I look that up, I use a program called Nice Hash at home, which is basically just a mining app.
Right.
And I can plug in a device and it'll tell me that device should earn this amount per day.
Really?
And when I plug it in, still I have to do it again and check it because it does go up and down daily because it's based on the price of whatever the coins are. That still says it should do about $21 a day. I'm not getting that.
What are you getting?
I'm probably getting 26 a week.
Oh.
So the way it was sold was the more items we have in our farm, the better threshold we'll get coming through, which means everyone's profit should go up over time.
Mm.
So, and unfortunately there's a contract you have to sign. So if I want to pull that out of there, I have to pay $500 to do so.
Oh.
So I did some math. Even at $500, if I could produce that at home, now, of course, then I take the maintenance on myself.
Right.
So do I just burn it out till it stops running? And if I make my money plus, I'm good.
Yeah.
Or do I worry about maintenance? I have to kind of weigh that. When I go whole house solar, I may do that. I may pull it.
Oh, is that in your future? Whole house solar?
Yeah, I want to do whole house solar, and I'm going to spec it for higher wattage than than my house is producing because I do want to add some more devices. I want to add a lot more devices, but I'm not doing it today. So I'm going to add a few, but not a lot.
When you talk about that, we've all been there on Facebook, on YouTube, on everywhere where you start. Oops, hang on, let me do something here. I'm posting some stuff. When they talk about there's these ads talking about there's high output solar panels, and
Yeah.
when they're talking about this stuff, it's like we all know what a solar panel looks like,
Yeah.
but what we wind up seeing is a picture of the Tesla wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're pulling off the packing tape
Yeah.
off of the thing, and
Mhm.
it's looking great. But they're talking about solar panels, and that's
Yeah.
not. They're two different things.
Oh yeah, that's
They're
just a big battery
related,
bank.
sure,
Yeah.
because you need a power wall. But you're every time I see this ad, and they're talking about you know the high output solar panels because they're brand new,
Mhm.
efficient, high output, blah 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 blah, and yet the only visuals, and I can go in any neighborhood with my camera, and hey, that house has got solar panels all over it. I
Mhm.
can get a shot of a solar panel on a house.
Sure.
But yet all they're showing is the Tesla wall. Like,
Yeah.
but it's not a Tesla commercial.
No,
It's not. It's something else.
but it's a
they're
related item that's in the people's minds.
and you can
Oh,
and
I
you
really want
can
one of
there
those,
there's
but they're
Tesla.
expensive.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
expensive. I'm sure they're great.
Yeah.
They do great things with their cars.
I'm sure.
But the I mean, really? I mean, people are going, that's a solar panel. No, that's not a solar panel.
No,
It's
yeah.
a power wall. It's a bunch of batteries
battery
in
bank.
a panel. It's a
Yeah.
battery bank. And that connects to your solar panels,
Sure, yeah.
but it's not solar panels. But that's what they want you to know. And it's really kind of odd in this day and age, accuracy,
Yeah.
and
That's
you
really
want to
an
talk
off-grade
about, and
scenario,
they're
though.
saying solar panels, and they're showing, and it bugs the crap out of me that they're showing.
That's not a solar
They're
panel.
showing a power wall. They might as well show a Duracell battery.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they might as well show a Duracell battery.
I'm sure they show a
And-
piece of
and-
the solar panel at least somewhere
No,
in there.
no,
Really?
no, it's not. I could probably get on one of these other sites,
Yeah.
and in the second time I get an ad, in fact, that I've said something out loud near my computer,
Yeah.
I'm
Probably
sure
gonna
the
happen
next
tomorrow.
time I'm in Facebook,
Tomorrow.
I'm going to be seeing that ad for the Tesla wall, or the solar panels that pretend that they're, that it's the Tesla wall. So it just bugs me crazy that in this time and age, I can drive 10 minutes and get a shot of a field, an entire field, like 4 square acres
Mhm.
of solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the Beltway on the west side of town. And I'm
Sure.
sure they've got one on the east side of town.
Yeah.
It exists. We know what solar panels look like, but yet we're showing a Tesla wall, which is basically a big white box with
Yeah.
the word Tesla on it. They're not even opening it up,
Nope.
because then they'd go, oh, wait, those are batteries, not a solar panel. It drives me crazy that, that's it. And it's no matter how many ads I'll see, I'll keep seeing that.
Yeah.
damn Tesla
I've
wall.
seen that one before as well.
Yeah. And I see that all the time. So so you're thinking, even with the less output of income,
In the long
it's
run,
still
yes.
it's still better
Sure.
to have that.
Yeah.
Whatever, you're not getting the daily return, you're getting more of a weekly thing. And
It depends on what concept you're sold on. In my opinion, I'm sold on that I can build enough
Right.
at this level that if it does go anywhere near where the expectations are,
right,
it's going to go up astronomically because I'm going to have a lot built up
right.
at a lower dollar value.
Right.
So I'll be instantly in profit.
Now, how's that comparing? Because you said
Mhm.
you're getting like $20 a week or $28 a
Mhm.
week. How's that comparing to your other computers that you've got at home? Is that pulling down the daily that you were?
So that, because price has gone down a little bit.
Okay.
But I still, in roughly 5 days.
Yeah.
Now there's some caveats there. I'll tell you in a second. That it's around $18 in 5 days.
In 5 days.
Yeah.
So that's close to $20 a week.
That's what I'm saying.
And you
and
pretty much invested.
a
That
mega
was about
hash.
a $1,500 computer.
About 14, I think.
Yeah. So
and
you're almost
probably a much better value in this case.
Other than you got to
Yeah.
pay for power.
I got to pay
and
for power.
internet.
But I haven't really
running.
noticed my power going, because my power is always high.
Right.
And I'm not noticing my power really much higher than it would normally be this time.
Is it a laptop or desktop?
That one is a desktop.
Desktop.
I'll take a picture of it. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's kind of cool.
Well, let's at least, make sure if but I do still want to get a picture of your computer sitting in a server farm. That'd be
I'd like to.
and maybe get a wide shot and say, can you give me a close up of my server and then a big wide shot of all the servers? I'm just curious. I'd
Sure.
love to see it.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I want to know where my money is.
I'll have to talk to the girl that pays me and see if she
Yeah.
can hook me up.
Okay.
I don't know if she's in the direct facility where it's at or not. It may be even off.
Hey, it's just like,
from
look,
the
and
from the.
somebody, just say
It's got to be
a
somebody in
friend
the
of mine.
warehouse.
Just here's how to do it. Say a friend of mine wants to, but he's kind of a visual guy. Can you send me a picture of what my server looks like
Yeah,
in the rack?
yeah.
And then I want to show it to him, and he
Sure.
might be actually thinking about investing. You do that, and they might actually think, "Oh, okay."
I have a
So
couple
it's not like a
contacts.
trust
I'll
issue,
talk
but
to him.
it's like, man, I just want to see it. I want to show my friend because my friend's thinking about it, and I'm like,
Well, the
am I really thinking about it? I don't
yeah.
know, not right now.
Well, the guy, another guy, the guy that actually did the webinar the night.
I'm still working on my soap empire.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I do text back and forth with him.
Yeah.
And I even texted him after I got my first pay. I look, and I said, I asked him respectfully and said, look, I don't think this number is producing what it should be producing.
Yeah.
And he even said, he says, I'm actually right there with you, brother. He says, I'm actually typing an email right now because he owns servers.
Uh-huh.
So he goes, I'm part of the company, so I'm a customer.
He's a customer too. Sure.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure he owns many servers, but I need to get back with him and see, because he didn't get back to me. Yeah. He says that, he was going to.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Why is it and not just like a little bit down, if all the coins are 10% down,
sure,
I can understand, but
but I'm doing mega
what you're
hash.
Promising me in a day, you're doing in a week.
Yeah.
That's
something's
like
wrong. I even sent him a picture of mine.
That's like 70%. I mean, it's a lot less than what you were expecting. So,
well, the device at home only does mega hash. The device in there does terahash. So you're talking about night and day difference as far as speed and ability to pull.
I don't know that word, so okay.
Well,
I'll take your word for it. Big, very
not
big
even in the same link, not even the
whatever.
same league.
Okay.
One is like the Rolls Royce.
Well, yeah,
and one is the Volkswagen,
and one is very bigly. I gotcha. Yeah. And you've still got your phones producing, and
I do. I still got my phones running. I've got computers running. I am looking at exploring another option. I think we briefly talked about that. Because you have the current mining and what most people mine today is either CPU, meaning the hard drive, the processors and the computer if it's capable, or GPU, which means it's using the video card. The video card can do the calculations. The better the calculations, the more it can pull.
Gotcha.
So the other mining they have is called hard drive mining. So literally,
you mentioned that.
Take all these hard drives you get laying around here, and you pipe it through system, and it maps it out, and then the more space that's available, the more it can mine.
It's almost like when you make a instead of one drive, you make one big
like
drive,
a big RAID or
like
something.
a RAID type of system. Huh. And of course,
so I'm looking at that one. I got hard drives galore in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, that I have access to.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at trying to figure out how to connect them because I'm thinking I can use a laptop and hopefully through USB 3.0. Get a nice little. I found a 16 banger USB 3. With just a bunch of. Problem is I don't think you can put the bigger drives on straight USB. I think it requires power on the power side. I can do it on a laptop drive, no problem.
Okay.
But I think on the big drives, when you plug them in, it won't fire the drive. I got to test that. Maybe I'll buy it just assuming that I'm going to go that route. And maybe I just need to find another power source to power the power side. I think it'll still work out.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then I can buy, 18 gig drives or get a hold of bigger drives.
Right.
And then, all's good at that point in time. Well, more space, the better. So that's something I'm.
So the mining, even though it's you're facing the now, did it ever produce the rate?
It was right at the time frame that it happened. So literally, when I started getting paid, the first couple payments I got around $80.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I should have been getting around 120 in my estimations.
Yeah.
So I think it was even a little low then.
Right.
But now I'm down to 20. So it'll get back there, and I'll just again. All that money is going into an interest-based account. So I'm not losing. I'm still gaining the same amount of Satoshis.
Yeah.
It's just the value of Bitcoin's down. But when the value goes back up, it's really going to exponentially go up.
For get the coins up. I want Bitcoin. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin because here's what happens. Bitcoin goes up and everybody else goes up and it drags everybody else up
You're
with
just
them.
not buying it.
So I'm not buying Bitcoin
Yeah.
only because it's so expensive, and it's
Yeah.
like, if I'm gonna put $1,000 on Bitcoin, you know what? How much for me to see a value from that? You
Yeah.
know how much that would have to go to?
Sure.
It's at 32,000 now. If I wanted to triple my money, it would have to go close
90.
to
Yeah.
$100,000
hmm
for me to get any return. If I wanted to triple or double my money,
And
it
you
would
have to
have to
buy a
go to
lot.
60. And even now, I mean, it did hit 60 grand just a few months ago.
Sure.
So great, bully for them. But that's tying up a lot of money on a big what if. Now
Yeah.
people are still predicting it's gonna really go crazy, but that could take a year. That
Sure.
could take a few years. And if you don't sell when it hit 64, when you bought it at 30,
Yeah.
if you don't sell and then it drops down to 30 again for 6 months to a
You
year,
can't either rebuy it or you
you're
lose out.
landlocked. You're
Yeah.
landlocked in that coin until it produces for you. So I'm not saying it won't produce. It probably will produce. It'll go up, and those people, those poor unfortunate souls that bought at 60,
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, this is going to go crazy."
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
you're
it's going
just
through
going
the
to have
roof.
to wait a little bit longer to get
Yeah.
your feedback, and that's fine. I'm done sharing. I want to get back to this.
I mean, I'm good for the long term because again, mine is not just sitting wait for it to rising. In the interim, it's at least earning interest. So I take what I can get out of that, and I'll be able to utilize it better later.
This is for me. This is like fun money.
Sure.
This is where I was telling people that, look, just don't go out to eat that night. Take that $20,
Yeah.
buy some coins with it.
Yeah.
Pick a really cheap coin. You can buy hundreds of coins for
Yeah.
$20, the cost of a meal, and have some fun with it.
And it could be a lot.
I don't know. It could be that lottery ticket. If you're prepared to sit on it and not stress over it. And believe it or not, I have little stress since I stopped looking at Coinbase, especially in the last since it's kind of done what it's been doing in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I have zero stress over it. I'm just kind of like, look, it's there, it's parked. I figure if something's gonna happen, you're gonna call me and say, dude, take a look at Ogron.
I'm always texting you when you're in the middle of something, so you never see it.
Unfortunately, the last time you texted me was when it was dropping after I just bought it, and it was like dropping. So I'm like, I don't need to hear more. That stuff.
Buy more.
But I'm like, dude,
yeah.
But I want you to give me the dude call or text when.
Yeah,
it's,
sure.
Dude, it's just doubled in price.
Yeah.
Dude.
So yeah, I'm not stressed over it either. I mean, I like what it's doing. I think it's gonna long term. I think it's gonna do me what I want it.
I have less the coins I'm into. I'm happy with them. I'm not negative at all. I don't believe I'm negative at all. I'm just not great positive like I was a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy with where I'm at with it. And like I said, I know I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait, and if I can pull some profit off of it, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Well, if I can,
and I'm also buying the assets, so I'm buying an asset that's producing it for me. I'm not buying the coin and then buying the coin and buying the coin and taking it in my paycheck. I'm buying it one time, and although it will take a little time to pay itself off, eventually it'll be itself in profit, and it's an ATM at that point.
I'm still a big fan, and you and I are talking about this and I'm not going to say a whole lot about it, only that you take a little bit of that money that we're making wherever, put it towards something that would create some opportunity.
Sure.
A side hustle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In fact, George and I are working on a side hustle now that
that's gonna be fun
too. We feel like we can kind of incorporate into our regular scheduled show here.
Sure.
Also, we're things are starting to pick up, and all of a sudden I've got 3-4 people that are looking to start shows, and I'm going, great. But we also want to really up our game here a little bit and maybe do more remote production. So coming up in the next week or so, and I think we've said this before, but hey, things happen and we kind of fall back in our nice cozy studio. And it's very cozy here. We just kind of walk 10 feet from the office and turn the air conditioning on, turn the lights on, turn the camera on. We're just hitting buttons at that point, and we don't have to kind of lug ourselves down to some other place and do it all from scratch. So but we are looking to do that. We want to spice things up, and we're going to be doing something related to the Oculus and the VR world, and it's going to be fun. So those of us in Central Florida, you're going to want to come out and not just watch us live on Facebook and YouTube, but you're going to want to come out and check this thing out.
It'll be much more fun.
What we're working on could be really fun, and not just to watch, but to participate in. And we're
hoping for a teaser next week if everything goes well.
We're gonna do a teaser. I think
it won't be on our show, but it'll be a different show.
Wednesday, we're gonna do something. Yeah,
hopefully Wednesday.
So we're gonna wait for the weather. I can't do a whole lot of stuff when the weather's just this crazy. Yeah. But I think we're going to have a nice little stretch before the next hurricane. But yeah, so that's what I like to do. I like to kind of make life interesting, take some money, invest in an idea, and a side hustle, and something that's not going to be so crazy amounts of time consuming, because that's, counterproductive. You want to make life easier and not more difficult. And I think we can do this and make life a little easier, and maybe make some. I want you to make more on this little idea than you do on all your coin things.
Well,
and then you're going, damn, that was a lot easier than buying a whole mess of computers and hooking them all together, and then I got to constantly monitor it or whatever, So
I kind of have a little bit of passion with it behind it too, so it's kind of fun for me at the same time.
Sure. You're inventing money at that point, but you gotta hit a break even too.
Oh yeah. That's why I haven't bought a ton more. I'm just kind of accumulating right now. But because my son's computer just died, and I said, well, if I'm buying you a computer, it's going to be making money as well.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, well, I mean, if I have to buy one, I'm going to spend enough in it that when he's not using it, it's at least going to produce something.
Okay.
Because I'm going to have to buy it anyway.
Yeah.
So I might as well buy something I can use.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of my philosophy. And I mean, and we briefly talked about it, but my next side hustle in there is the debt program that I've been looking at, and I'm still working on a lot of the details of the program, but I have a lot of passion in that arena, just in general.
Right.
And I'm, I was already doing a lot of the stuff that some of this does, but didn't know the terms that the program was using already. And I'm going to implement some of those here very soon, because I was just talking to you today about that I'm refinancing my house.
Yeah.
Getting about a $200 reduction out of it. But the nice thing is it's bringing me down to 2.99 fixed, because I'm in an adjustable rate mortgage still.
Yeah.
So that right there was worth its weight in gold.
Right.
But I was watching.
I did that I did that like 5 years ago.
Remember, through my bankruptcy, I refinanced through the lawyers, and they were nice enough to give me a 40-year mortgage, which really was just going to, I mean, there's so much money I would have given up over that time frame.
Yeah.
Because it's about $700 a month of interest they take out of it. But I was watching a video, and the guy, because I'm all about paying the mortgage off. But I was watching this one video, and it made me think. Now that I'm at 2.99%, and when I pay off, I forget. I'm staring at you because I forget that, but the 2.99%.
That's a great interest.
It's a great rate. Yeah. And then also too, because I'm paying everything off very, very high frequency.
Yeah.
So I've got basically 4 things to pay off. I pay those off, and I'm just down to my mortgage. What I'll probably do is use the interest cancellation process.
Yeah.
Which is basically just looking at, let's say my principal payment every month is, let's say it's $300.
Right.
So it's going to be more than that, but let's say it's $300. I make my regular scheduled payment and then make a principal payment of $300. You technically cancel the interest that was associated with that $300 payment for life.
Yeah.
So if I implement that just on my mortgage, all this other money that I was paying on all my other debts, I now have available to invest. I can find investments above 2.99%. Why would I pay the house down if I can make 5 to 10% every year?
But you wind up paying 30 years fixed. I mean, you can do the math at, let's just say it's $1,000, 30 years fixed.
Sure.
And that's what, 360. No,
it hurts my brain.
That's
over. I can't do math.
There's over 1,000 payments.
Yeah.
You've got over 1,000 payments. 36 years times 12 payments.
Yeah.
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 That's a lot of damn payments times $1,000 a month. I could get the calculator out, or I could just kind of
that's a
work it
lot.
in my brain, and
A
it's
lot.
a hell of a lot more than your initial purchase price of the house.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it could be $1 million. You could be paying $1 million back for
It's at least double.
Yeah.
At least.
And so that's what we're trying to save you from.
Sure.
And do it little by little.
Yeah.
Nibble by nibble,
Sure.
and before you know it, that does add up. So it's kind of a neat thing. The 3%. I'm not sure where I landed mine. It was probably in the 4s.
Yeah, maybe.
In the 4.
Mine's
Maybe
at 4,
I don't
it's
think
been
mine
for a while,
went to 5, but mine is was a fixed rate, and I was like, just leave it alone.
Yeah, sure.
4's
not bad though. I mean, it's not like horrible for sure.
The payoff on mine was I paid less for my house. Of course, I went to a lawyer to renegotiate the bad Fannie Mae loan that I got with everyone else got. So we forced their hands, made them renegotiate. And that's how I got out of the variable rate and that bad thing that I was in. So I just went to the lawyer and said, look, do this for me. Get me out of get me over to something else. And and that was the best money I ever
Give
spent.
me a fighting chance.
I think I probably spent $3,000 doing that.
Yeah.
It took about 4 months, 5 months, whatever, and they did it. And I'm like, and of course now I've got instead of a rate that's going to change, and the only time rates do change, but that's usually property taxes.
Yeah.
Did they take enough? Did they take too much?
They did that to me last go around.
And you might
insurance went up,
you might go up in insurance and property taxes, but you know what? It's not like a variable rate that can all of a sudden go up $300 a month on top of
it's a variable cost.
On top of when that stuff goes up, then your insurance might go up on top of that, and before you know it, you're when you got into it at a variable rate at $1,000 a month, and all of a sudden now you're $1,500 a month. That's not an unusual story. That does happen.
Mine
which
went
is
up
why
about
those
$200.
Variable rates were just horrible in a business.
Definitely.
But yeah, I guess you kind of have to weigh the odds and how much you're paying, how much you're doing, how much it's going to cost you to refinance. Yeah. Because that's more closing costs again. Yeah. You're going to have to
about $5,000.
Yeah. So if you're paying $5,000 to get, are you saving? Now you said the payoff, if you're going to try and do a payoff in 6 years,
it'll still happen. Actually, it's
yeah. But quicker. Are you still saving that? Is that $5,000 still necessary to invest to get a lower interest rate when you're only going to be out of the house in 5 years, 6 years? Aha! Baked your noodle there.
Actually, no. It's still, for me, it is, because I don't plan on selling the house, even if I move out of the house.
I understand that, but
so
but the $5,000 you're spending just to squeak out a couple of points on interest.
That's not the goal on my side, from my standpoint. So one, I was getting out of the adjustable rate.
Right.
2, I'm getting into a better payment, which gives me extra cash flow.
So based on your 6-year plan of being out, didn't really, having that variable rate wasn't really a part of that. Because in 6 years, that rate could go up and throw your math all out of whack.
Correct. Yes.
Because your math is working here.
Yes.
So now you're basically buying an insurance policy on your mortgage plan to get out of your mortgage in 6 years.
Well, and also too, the extra $200 a month now, will give me extra cash flow somewhere else, which is going to increase the time.
2 years worth of payment, which is 2 years worth of payments toward the $5,000 it took you to refinance the house. Gotcha.
Well,
you can almost
the piece that's from that part of the conversation.
Wouldn't you want to remain a little liquid and instead of can you refinance and then pull $5,000 out of the equity that you've got?
Oh, I could have. I got plenty of equity.
And that way you keep a little liquid and keep that $5,000, put that $5,000 to something.
But remember, I have another piece that's coming.
I'm gonna get the don't HELOC. Know all that. He's
I'm gonna
playing.
I got
you're playing 3-dimensional chess.
Oh yeah.
You're playing 5 different chess games.
Oh yes, they're all running at the same time too.
Because
I'm gonna be getting the HELOC soon for $25,000.
Right.
and huge
The
benefits to the HELOC.
the home equity line of credit. The
Huge
HELOC.
benefits to the HELOC. Once I do that, it'll adversely increase what I'm doing.
Yeah.
On top of what I'm doing now, and these are all little pieces that were all kind of planned that I had planned on doing.
Yeah.
But I had to do them in certain orders.
Yeah.
So like I just got that additional credit card, which is 0%. I'm going to transfer on
go.
my current credit card, which is probably 19-20%,
Yeah.
down to 0%.
Yeah.
I'll be able to pay those other 2 debts off and the 2 that are at 0% in the same amount of time frame.
Yeah.
Which means all 4 of them should be gone. Only thing I'll have left is my mortgage.
Yeah.
So giving me that extra $200, even though I spent $5,000 for it, I'm going to reduce so much interest, not just here, but when I flip back over on the house, because at that point I'll have a ton of money. You know,
Okay.
The HELOC strategy we'll go into later because it's a lot more involved.
Right.
But it's a very interesting philosophy on almost how to pay all of my bills in an interest-free scenario. Very close to interest-free.
All right.
And using credit card.
Well, we'll look forward
we'll
to.
Lose that.
So
Leave
next
that
week,
for another day.
Next week we'll hope to have some new things on
sure
where we might be streaming from in the weeks
yes,
to come.
Yes.
You're gonna get us a picture of your server, your little baby server.
Try.
You know, get us a little picture we can kind of, you know, I mean, we can show and put it up there and let everyone see. Look, maybe it'll grow. Maybe it starts out like a little baby and grows. Whatever. I'm just a little tired, so I guess we're kind of. But anyway, hey, look, it's 8:00.
That was quick.
It was a quick hour because I can't seem to shut up. As
so
far
you've
as
been told.
so I've been told. I just can't seem to shut up, and I repeat myself. So yeah. Hey, folks, we're also
Instagram
streaming
land.
over on Instagram. Hey, we didn't forget about you, and
certainly did not.
We appreciate you guys watching and chiming in, and we love the Instagram viewers, and they do wonders for us.
It's a clan, I'm telling you.
Yeah, the more you can do. So, anyways, look for more from us in the weeks to come, and
next week should be fun. I hope.
I think we're gonna have some interesting content to talk
Once we
about.
get confirmation, we're gonna have to blast it out before the show to make sure, because I think that's gonna be interesting. We can make some neat material on that.
And for those of you who know where my office is, right out in front, weekdays. I'll get more information, but our hot dog lady from the open house, she's setting up here for lunch right outside my door, so I don't even have to really walk more than 50 feet to go get a.
It is summer though; she may need a bigger umbrella.
Yes. She was here today, and she got a bit of rain on her, and unfortunately,
I'm thinking a tent won't work though with that heat.
I don't
probably
know.
melt it.
I don't know. So anyway, we have more to come in other weeks, and look for us, and we'll be looking for you. So thanks for joining us. George, you got anything else to say? Are we done?
I think we're done for this week, and we'll look forward to next week.
Okay, folks. Thanks for joining us, and we out. Did you silence it, or are we still like live? Yeah, don't miss the whole opportunity. Probably should have done this before, not after, but oh no, I mean, does this make you do it after? Yeah. Is that what it's doing? So it's posting it. Cool.
I'm gonna put the title as Modern Day Thrive.
It's just a title, but it's the channel is Modern Day Thrive. Yeah. So put Side Hustle Explained. Are we off the air with that?